Belleville, where longtime rivals about to go toe-to-toe to kick off the season in an all-Richland County matchup on a gorgeous mid-August night. Madison and Clear Fork lock horns on the pitch, and it's only streaming live and free on the OH Report. On the way, next.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
Two of the top programs in North Central Ohio kickstart their seasons tonight under the lights here in Belleville as Game 2 of our soccer doubleheader. Kicking off the campaign right here and now. Good evening, folks. Welcome to Clear Fork High School for the Park National Bank pregame. I'm Brian Skoronsky. Got Jesse Ryder alongside me here tonight, and check out the student section here for the Colts. A lot of guys coming out here to show support of their ladies soccer team, who, Jesse, might be the most intriguing in the area, could be the most talent that we have in Richland County.
Absolutely. I love this Clear Fork team. I think it's a fun, it's exciting team. I mean, they can play at a high level. They can do a lot of things. It's a team that they're going to be young, but their chemistry, I think, is going to be unlike the other teams that are young in the area. So I'm excited to see what can they do under the lights against a crosstown rival in Madison, who's got the better of them the past couple of years. How will that translate to an 80-minute game?
Madison's starting to put the Taylor Huff era a little bit in their rear view as they're now in their second season without Miss Huff, the I think you could say the GOAT of Ohio high school soccer for the ladies. Who would you say is going to be carrying the torch now for Madison? The fact that they're going to be without Nevaeh Lewis for the entire season, who's going to be some new players that you're expecting to step up and fill some quality roles for them?
I think one of the players we saw last year was certainly Natalie Back, did well defensively, was a great contributor, brought great quality to the team. It had more of a defensive role last year. We'll see with some of the changes to the team and additions to the team, does her role change and evolve? It's possible. Callie Cyrus is another one. You know, they have some talent. So certainly I think the big question for Madison is who's going to score for them. Who's going to be the one that gets the goals? They have some talent around the field. They've got some talented field players. It's just going to be who is it who's going to put the ball in the back of the net when they need to score goals. I think that's the question mark right now for Madison.
And your key to the game tonight for Madison literally came with a question mark. You want to know who's going to score.
Yeah, absolutely. Who is it going to be? Because I think they're going to get some chances. You know, they're athletic enough. They're talented enough. They're going to defend well. It's going to be who is it that's going to step up and say, you know what, we need to score goals. We need a goal to win the game, to tie the game, to do whatever to the game. Who has that composure, that ability, and just the chance to go and score goals? That's what someone's got to step into that role, and we're just not sure who it's going to be for Madison yet.
And a different story for Clear Fork, maybe more of a broader approach to the offensive attack. Scoring by committee for them, you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I think if you look at the roster for the past couple of years for Clear Fork, there's not been a prolific goal scorer. There's been girls who can score goals, but there hasn't been one key player that you have to key in on and make sure that that they don't get their touches on the ball in the box. I look at Kendall Windsor. I think this could be her season, her role, her kind of year, that she could have a lot of goals, super fast, becoming a good finisher. I think this could be a big year for her. They also have a lot of freshmen who can contribute, score, finish, and have some playmakers out there. So it's going to be interesting to see. They're young, but I think even with their youthfulness, their chemistry is still going to be high.
And coming up next week, me and Jesse going to be over at Ashland checking out Midview, taking on the Arrows in their season opener. That's going to be an afternoon game, 4 p.m., so you can catch that action live and free right here on the OH Report next Wednesday. But this is the matchup that a lot of people had high expectations for, a lot of anticipation for this one coming up here tonight, these two teams. And for Madison, that was a team that last season went into the tournament with a losing record, Jesse, and then they got hot all of a sudden at the end of the year. They caught fire, and they were able to make a run all the way to the regional semifinals, upset Ontario in overtime in the district final. So do they still have a little piece of that magic? Do they have a spark with a lot of players coming back? They did graduate players like Shannon Jamison and Morgan Rachel. However, a lot of pieces and parts back that you mentioned in this junior class. They've been getting minutes. There were a lot of freshmen that played with Taylor Huff and that group of girls that got some varsity experience on a state championship team. So they got a pedigree out here of kids that played a lot of soccer and at a very high level.
Absolutely. I think they're going to be a talented team. It's just going to be, can the pieces fit together in time to make a run in the postseason, in the conference, whatever that timeline might be, is how will that translate? So there certainly is some talent on the field for Madison, though. They have a freshman striker, Jada Neal, and she's got a lot of teammates on the Clear Fork side from the club world. So there's a lot of talent on this field on both sides, really. But it's going to be who can execute, who can finish, who can give quality chances to teams.
And for Clear Fork, coming off an 11-5-2 season, we're actually ousted by Madison in the district semifinals. Kind of a storyline that's been going on for a while now. Do you want to take a guess, Jesse, at the last time Clear Fork actually defeated Madison?
Ooh, let me see here. I'm going to go, I'll say 2016.
Ooh, I heard that, and I thought you were going to say 15, and you would have been right on the money, my friend.
So close.
Yeah, they actually beat them 2015 back when they were both conference rivals in the OCC tournament. I remember that one. It was 4-3 in a shootout at the end of the game. It was a quality contest, came down obviously to the wire, but Clear Fork has not tasted a victory against these conference it used to be a conference rival, now just a county rival, in a long time. That's got to weigh on you a little bit, I think, mentally.
Absolutely. I think you just kind of get more excited for that opportunity of doing something that hasn't been done for a while, not necessarily forever, but certainly that most of these players have not beaten Madison. Well, I'll practically all these players have not beaten Madison in their career. And so to kind of be able to, that turns the table a little bit and be a part of that. Now, it's certainly easier said than done. We talked about Madison. They're going to have some ability. They're going to defend well. They're coached well. Oh, kind of a rough injury here right away. Didn't see who that was that went down.
Yeah, I think that was Kendall Windsor. Down on the ground it is, wearing the deuce, and Coach Bechtel jogging out on the field to take a look at her star junior.
I thought their feet got tangled up and she grabbed her ankle, but I don't really see her making that motion anymore. She's certainly in some pain, though. You hate to see that. Not sure. See Coach Labaki coming out there as well.
Yeah, less than 2 minutes here into the season. Take a look here on the replay.
See, there's the ball played in. I don't see a lot there. It's one of those plays. It could be a variety of things. I don't really see her grabbing at her ankle. We'll see what she kind of favors as she's standing up.
Yeah, so tough to tell from that replay. Maybe some toes.
Yeah, the kind of pain she was in makes me think it's a little more than just some contact. I don't know. But quickly, freshman Zoe Lamp gets in the game right away after that then.
So obviously that'd be such a big loss for them. Kendall Windsor, I believe, had a hat trick on opening night last season for Clear Fork. She had 12 goals on the year for them, 9 assists, so she's arguably their top returning offensive threat this season. Hopefully she's able to shake that off, get right back into the mix as Madison trying to take advantage here and getting on the offensive attack. Set it up, shot from deep.
Not been a super clean game yet. Not a lot of just kind of chemistry and composure on the ball. A couple turnovers, a couple misplayed balls. And possibly one of the best keepers in the area, and Renee Anders as well. I just really like this Clear Fork team. It'll be interesting to see how everything kind of gels together for them. But there's this speed and playmaking ability we talked about. Wow, what a great jump off the line there.
Yeah, that one read all the way by the keeper.
You know, I don't have the keeper listed on the roster. I'm not sure who that is. Maybe it is Jaden Pfeiffer there we see. But that was that's a great early jump that, you know, if her timing's off, then it's a breakaway for Zoe Lamp. So way to get off her line there, come out and make a save that doesn't look spectacular, but certainly the timing was.
Clear Fork moving us side to side on the back line. Nice job keeping it in play, but cannot connect, trying to get Wortman. Good pressure there in the middle, but it's just kind of going back and forth. Not a lot of clean execution right now in the passing game for each side. And miscommunication there for the Rams, but they'll maintain possession. Give it off to Back, who drills one from downtown, and it's going to be no problem for Anders.
And now Back maybe more of a defensive mid, maybe a center back type role with the ability to go up.
Yeah, this is an intriguing Madison team to me. During the offseason, it sounds like finding a lot of trouble getting the ball into the back of the net, but they've got some girls, as mentioned, that have played a lot of soccer, some state champions on this roster. They were a big part of that team, certainly these juniors. So could develop into something as the season goes along, as I mentioned as well. They got really hot in the tournament at the end of the year last year after a really shaky start to their season. But, hey, when you've got maybe the greatest player in the history of Ohio soccer in your program with that Class 11 girls so strong, when they leave, there's going to be some growing pains. That's what we saw from Madison. I think getting out to an early start here, getting some confidence could really help build for them moving into their season. Of course, you always want to get off to a good start.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, this game is kind of an important game, just to, again, kind of that marker of where do we stand at against area competition. You know, I think Madison trying to figure out who's going to score goals for them. They have a freshman striker right now who's very skilled and very fast. I think we'll get some goals. I think where does she get the ball and how does she get the ball is going to be interesting to see. She's not gotten a lot of touches yet. I think for Clear Fork, it's a little bit the same, especially with Windsor out of the game right now. You can see her getting some bit of a hard workout on this. I expect her to return her probably pretty soon. Just some kind of cuts back and forth there.
Diving into our fan zone. Got some cheering going on for Miss Natalie Back. Nadine cheering on the Clear Fork Colts here tonight. Shannon was in the mix earlier on our fan zone for the boys' side, cheering on some of her baby bros and watching her ladies play yet again here tonight. So make sure that you're dropping us some comments throughout the entire duration of the game on Facebook and YouTube. We love hearing from you, and we like making you a part of the game. So drop us a line. We'll make you a part of the fan zone.
And so this game just doesn't have a lot of flow to it right now. Just kind of the ball stayed in the middle of the field. Not really breaking the back line either way. Clear Fork probably had the best chance so far, but not a lot to it. I think it just takes a minute to kind of figure things out. Obviously, Clear Fork losing their star striker right away. Make some adjustments. You see a lot of that kind of play there where it's one-on-one. You just can't make the pass around the first defender, and it's kind of been back and forth because of that.
That one slung out of bounds right in front of the Lady Ram bench. Actually, it's going to be kept in play.
I think there's been interesting, not something we do in our area, but if you had an all-freshman team, there are a lot of talented female freshmen around the area this year. To look and see that freshman team could probably beat a lot of varsity teams. There's just some talent right there. both teams are certainly recognizing that, starting a couple and have a couple on their roster as well.
Back turns, dishes it to the outside. Ball played up the middle. And that through ball is not going to be able to connect on the other end from Lily Nill, as this one shoots back to Anders. And that one's headed out of play, so it's going to be a Madison throw-in coming up. And just not a ton of real excitement, no fireworks yet here in this contest.
That inability to break the defenders with that last pass has just proven the game to kind of sit in the middle. And that's kind of the quintessential play so far, is it's just right at the defender's feet. The defender wins it. It's a 50-50 ball in the middle, and then we'll do it again.
Adderholt had that one deflected. Nice job of using the body right there by Lily Wortman, who's expected to be such a key piece for this team this season. 16 goals last year, second on the team behind Trinity Cook, who was lost at graduation. I think it's always fun early on in the season when you graduate a player like a Trinity Cook. 19 goals for her, 12 assists. She was the biggest piece of the offense. As we get a foul here, it's going to be headed in Clear Fork's direction, or Madison's rather. Just who's going to step in and fill those shoes, because there's going to be more opportunities for you. So it's always, I think, a fun time of year here early on. Who has a big match where you find the back of the net in the first couple of matches, and maybe it elevates your confidence and you end up having a big year when you weren't expected to?
Absolutely. I think there's another freshman there, Ashton Wine, just pressing there, and it's going to create a long throw-in for Clear Fork. But you're right. It's this game, there's a lot of goals that have been scored over the past couple of years by players who are no longer on the team due to graduation and various reasons. And so you've got to figure out who's going to be the next girl up, the next one who's going to kind of find the back of the net. And so it'll be interesting to see who kind of fills that role for both teams, especially with Kendall Windsor being out. You know, she was doing some workouts on the sideline. Looks like she'll probably return at some point, still getting stretched out over there. But it'll be interesting to see, you know, who is it? Who's going to step up? Who's going to be the one who can kind of help score goals and put games away?
Clear Fork gathering possession, looking for some options. Quick pass from Wortman, squirts away.
There's Annika Labaki. Good play through the midfield there.
Yeah, smooth move. Heavy touch, though, from Wortman. Got just far enough away from her that allowed Madison to disrupt it. Nice move. But a good pressure that time, and taken away last second by Kendall Kirshner.
Yeah, Avery Wine with a good run in there. Could have done a lot of things there, but tried to take one touch too many. You know, Clear Fork certainly has a lot of siblings on their team. I think there's the Wine sisters, the Lamp sisters. They've got quite a few sibling connections out there. And then obviously Griffin Blakely from the boys game, we just called his younger sister, Addie, just checked into the game as well.
Push off and a foul is going to go there against Labaki. Second foul against the Colts here in the last couple of minutes. As we're more than 10 minutes milked off the clock. Couple shots so far for Madison, a couple of saves for Clear Fork. And that's about all the offense that we've produced up to this point.
And not a lot of exciting opportunities yet. There's a little bit of skill there.
Yeah, good looking play by Jenica Tatum to get around the first defender, but second wave coming at her from Clear Fork.
Couple subs here in for the Clear Fork, Ashton Wine and Alexis Rodriguez checking in.
And for the Lady Colts last year, they had so much depth, Jesse. I mean, we thought it was going to be just an early in the season thing, but it became throughout the entire duration of the year. They were doing 4, 5, 6 girls that they would sub in and out at one time. So far here tonight, just 2 at a time for Brittany Bechtel. So showing a little bit of restraint in that regard.
Absolutely. I remember talking to Brittany halfway through the season, and she thought that eventually that tactic would die off. But she said, you know, their level of play was so high, the girls were so equal that it just made sense to kind of keep players fresh, keep your legs fresh, and that way you've got more players available. Certainly that brings about its own challenges, but it's a nice luxury to have so many players who can play at a high level.
Colts had some nice ball movement working. Callie Cyrus stepped in. Nice theft. And she's going to get the possession here. Throw in for the Rams. Goes down into the corner looking for Mila Davis. Really great athlete, stud track player for Madison.
just not a lot of, I'd say, consistency with the ball here. You know, 1 or 2 passes and usually leads to a turnover for both sides. A little slow there to play the ball. And I think she saw the right idea, but just didn't play it quick enough. Good touch by Ashton Wine to Blakely.
Yeah, right on target here.
Blakely does well to get a throw-in out of it. So here's the play we haven't seen. Can they just keep possession that will result in a shot? We haven't really seen that yet. They'll kind of force in. You know, Madison's got about 7 girls defending this side of the field. And there's going to be a foul here, so Clear Fork will get a chance to go on goal about 20, 30 yards away there. Ashton Wine certainly could put something on goal here if she wanted. Clear Fork's got about 4 players sitting on the back post. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it looks like she's going to bend it on target through the hands of the keeper. Clear Fork, can they capitalize? They will. They put it in the back, and it's Brinley Barnett with the first goal of the season.
Yeah, right place, right time. You know, Ashton plays a good lofted ball in there. Sun might have factored in that a little bit for the keeper, not being able to come down with that cleanly. You know, it's not an easy thing to jump up and catch a ball when you got a bunch of people running at you. Perhaps that pressure got to her as well, but she just drops it right there, and Brinley Barnett is the recipient of a gift and opens the game up for Clear Fork. Their first real scoring attempt results in a goal.
That is their first shot on net. So much like we saw in the boys' game, where they were delivering on few opportunities early in that first half, Colts here at home, capitalizing first, and sometimes you just need to hang around that net, and those type of opportunities, good things tend to happen, and you never know when the keeper will have some buttery fingers, as we saw in that situation. Set it up for a perfect opportunity.
That was really the first time they got the ball in behind the defenders as well. I mean, everything else has been played at the defenders' feet. Even there again for Madison, it was just right at the center back for Clear Fork, and just not a lot of looking to find that final ball into the attacking third has just been unsuccessful for both teams. You know, Clear Fork does it one time and they get a goal out of it.
And continues the trend that we're seeing here tonight, Jesse, where freshmen for Madison coming through with a lot of goals in the boys' game, and then now for Clear Fork, a 9th grader with the first goal of this match.
Absolutely. And there's Ashton Wine, another freshman, one-on-one on the outside. Ashton Wine, good composure on the ball. Just a smart head-up player for a freshman.
Yeah,
ball to the corner, see if they can keep it in.
Mel Bluebaugh chases it down. Good pressure for the Rams, though. And a takeaway ends that scoring threat. Substitution coming for Clear Fork. Going to get Wortman back into the mix now in her senior season. Mel Bluebaugh is going to take a seat. And Coach Bechtel sending in Zoe Lamp as well. As good look here at some of the fans in attendance. And, hey, I see some former Clear Fork athletes out there. We talked a little bit about Trinity Cook hanging out, taking in a game here before she heads off to college.
So Trent Heckman commented as well. Trent's coached a lot of these girls over at Ohio Strikers. I think there's probably 5 or 6 girls that were on his club team. Certainly a lot of the freshmen that we're talking about, he's had a part of their development. So hello, Trent. We were just texting earlier.
Seems like you're messaging just about every coach every day. Always a story, always a message, Jesse, and that's why we keep you around, man.
It's a fun community, fun group.
Off the corner kick. Clear Fork looking to keep it in dangerous position. Keeper comes away.
Be interesting to see if we get an update on Kendall Windsor. She was going through a pretty rigorous workout, as now just sitting on the bench by herself. So you hope it's nothing serious and maybe just a bit of a knock, but see if we can find someone who could maybe give us an update on what's going on there. Clear Fork's looking to possess the ball a little bit more still. Ooh, there's going to be a foul there. Still struggling to break that back line. I will say we've commented on that a little bit. I think part of it is the organization of the defensive back line for both teams. I think both teams are well defending well the box there and trying not to let that ball happen. But there are some gaps. I think you just got to be a little more patient, play with your head up a little bit. Ooh, Clear Fork a little slow to get up there. I can't tell who that is yet. She's running away from everyone, sort of.
But quickly, I seen the guy in the cart, man. He was all over it.
He made up for it last time because couldn't find her when Kendall Windsor went down. Now he's back. Jumped out of a moving cart there. She's in some pain. Kind of a rough start for injury-wise for Clear Fork here.
So Avery Wine getting tended to on the far side of the field here for the Colts, who already down one of their top scoring threats returning this season in Windsor.
And two of their juniors here. Those are two big injuries right away. Certainly don't know the severity of either one, but one resulted in the cart coming on the field, and the other just doesn't look promising on the sideline. You don't want to speculate at all, but certainly not a lot of movement anymore, and no interest in putting her back in the game right now.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Jesse, now that I look down to the sideline, I just seen assistant coach Chris Laux give a nice big hug to Kendall Windsor, who has taken off her shoes. So it appears that she's probably going to be done for the evening.
Yeah, it's unfortunate to see such a talented player to go down so early in the game. I'm sure it's tough for her, tough for the team as well.
What's up, America? How we doing out there? A lot healthier up here than Clear Fork is down on the field, though much like Kendall, I got no shoes on up here, Jesse. Keeping it very casual, very comfortable here tonight. My producer made the first move. He popped off his, and I just said, hey, when in Rome, I'm going to make it happen. And just so you guys know out there, hopefully you're watching from your living room. You know, you got your dogs out, sitting up on a nice recliner, feeling comfy. We try to do the same. We try to be men of the people here on the OS Report, Jesse.
Sure. I'm not sure what you want to say.
I noticed that, both,
I do
both
have
of
my
your shoes
on.
are
It
very
looks like
laced
the
up.
game's going to restart, thank goodness, so we don't have to talk about your feet anymore. So Avery Wine was carted off, but I think merely for the pace of the play, not because of the severity of the injury. So.
Yeah, she's got a big smile on her face, just getting a quick drink. Imagine that she's going to get back into the action here, already jogging it off. So here we go. Off the restart, Madison with the first touch, but right back to Clear Fork, sending the ball into the box back there. Able to meet it. Big collision. To draw a whistle there, actually. Kind of surprised. Lebaki looked like maybe a little bit of a forearm to the chest.
Good ball by Jada Neal into some space there. Still doesn't turn the defender around, but certainly puts him under some pressure.
Sophia Perry with a nice tackle there previously. Here's Rodriguez, unable to get it out of their end. But Clear Fork was doing a nice job of keeping possession.
It's a good ball in.
Swigart popped up, headed down. Davis with the foot on it, and great opportunity.
So many questions. I thought for sure she was offside. She was sitting behind everyone. But then just, from my angle, it looked like a tap-in, but just put it wide here. You can see maybe right in line with the defender there. Just a tough angle, tough ball. Certainly the best opportunity for Madison. Good press again by Madison to win it back right away. Jada Neal, good left foot in, but right at the keeper.
5 shots now for the Rams, 3 saves for Renee Anders.
Game's kind of opened up a little bit here. Getting some opportunities. Avery Wine will be checking back into the game shortly. That's good to see.
Rams with the throw-in. Swigert tried to use her body to shield off the defender, but Clear Fork coming away with possession. Nice touch inside for Wine. Madison applying a bit more pressure here now on the offensive end. As this whistle is going to go against Clear Fork and Ashton Wine, the freshman.
Looks like Kendall Kirshner will be on the ball here. It's a similar angle at the opposite end of the field from how Clear Fork scored. Kendall's going to go at the keeper, though. Bobbled, followed, and it's going to be wide.
Natalie Back came charging in right into the chest of Anders, and We saw earlier that it was a misplay by the goalie for Madison that led to the Clear Fork goal. Almost happened here at this end.
You don't see too many mistakes from Anders. That's one she usually catches pretty cleanly and just bobbled it, but does not result in a goal. Just results in a save.
So for Madison, just unable to capitalize on 7 shots so far in this opening half. On the other side, the Clear Fork offense, 1 look on net, and that one opportunity cashed in.
Clear Fork's just holding on the ball a little too much. Just the defender's just closing out. They're not able to get the next pass off, but they are not afraid to send some numbers forward. And so they're just kind of holding on to the ball just a little too much and resulting in a turnover right at the front defender's feet. You really got to beat that first defender with a pass. That's really what kind of sets the game open.
Ball through the middle. Going to end up back at the feet here of the Colts. Nice play outside on the charge here for Wine.
It's a better play by Labaki. Just one touch right in the space there. Wine does well to keep the ball.
Here comes Annika. Taking her time, makes a decision to send it out wide. Clear Fork getting more girls involved now on the offensive end. As that pass off target ends up with Kirshner. And not really sure the intention of that one. Out of play.
Quite a few turnovers so far. I think part of it's the defensive pressure of Madison. I think has been high. Not a lot of time on the ball for Clear Fork. I think part of it's just kind of reading the game a little bit, letting the game open up here. Ashton Wine doing a good job of getting wide. What we see is just probably one too many touches, drawing too many defenders, and then just forced into kind of playing the ball backwards a little bit. I think they've got the, that's the play that's been killing them right now. Is just kind of play a ball in front of the defender. Madison does well to come onto it every time. Just really haven't found that ball that turns defenders around, forces them out of position. Everything's been in front of them at their feet.
Kind of a rough turnover there for Madison, as that one's going to be skied out of bounds on the far side.
I don't think either team is probably happy with the way they're playing right now. I think there's a lot of learning going on. We'll say it that way. They're kind of learning the flow of the game, learning just positioning and kind of how players line up, their tendencies. Just think both teams certainly have some talent, just probably hasn't been their cleanest game yet.
That one flicked on. Madison coming away with possession. Looking to get some bodies forward. Just kind of a slow progression here for the Rams offensively.
It's a good touch there to keep that in play and keep at our feet. Madison just has so many players in the middle. You really have to use some width here. Draw some players out. Let's see if she can find that space. It's a clever ball in, a little deep, but I like the idea. That's better than what we've seen so far.
Off the pressure from Blue Ball, ends up with Labaki. Back to Wine. Looking to make a one-on-one move, but that's one there by Swigert. Keeps it in play. Excellent ball on the move.
Clever build up here by Madison. Just good speed by Perry. Just tracks back, wins the ball, knocks out of bounds.
Yeah, Sophia came flying back. Great recovery speed. Foul in the field of play. This one's going to go against Kirsten. Second foul against the Rams here in this first half.
16:47 to go here. Not a lot of action. We've got a goal. We had a near goal for Madison. In terms of scoring opportunities, not much else besides those two things.
Certainly a filling out process here for both of these offensive attacks. As Clear Fork's been pretty strong, though, on their back line of defense. That's where they've got some veterans. Madison finding it tough to kind of crack through with that last connecting pass, though. It's a good-looking play here by Adderholt sending it in with back. Draws a double team. Chased out of there. Has to leave it off for Jaden Neal, who has not been shy about sending him from way outside. That one caught by Anders.
See if Clear Fork can win. This kind of just resulted in not much happening from the long ball from Anders, forcing some tough turnovers or tough traps. Just Clear Fork's not clean yet, I would say. It's a little slower, not quite recognizing the space and the feet. I certainly think the ability's there. I think it's just, you can't duplicate the games, and so this is the first game, and so you see some of the kind of the messiness that comes with that.
Neal to back. Connecting some passes now are the Rams, finding feet until that last one. Rough giveaway, but they get it right back. Rams got about 5 girls up here on the attack. See if they can make some runs, find some gaps instead. It's a takeaway by Ashton Wine. And for the Rams, I think they've done a pretty decent job in the midfield of keeping possession, but once they're trying to get into the scoring position, that's where you got to give Clear Fork some credit. They've been in some right place, right time type of thing, but they just haven't connected, haven't had very many good looks on net outside of that one from Kirshner that we thought was going to be a layup and just kind of came off the side of her foot.
Absolutely, yeah. It's just been some missed opportunities in the middle of the field, and I think just an unwillingness to play the ball into space right now. I think just trying to find feet consistently, and sometimes when Madison's playing so tight, you have to play in that space a little bit. That would be the example there. I think you got to stretch the field, find some width here, draw some of these Madison players out. Madison's really just kind of clogging the middle, trying to eliminate that ball right there, and that's what they do. They're just stepping to the ball. They're kind of keeping the ball in front of them.
Tucker has it deflected. Blakely on the far side trying to chase down. Good matchup out here. And Taylor just takes it out of bounds. But the Colts quickly back into the field of play. A little bit of a collision.
Just not, even the throw-in choice to go back there with and a little bit of pressure. I think you can take your time, let it develop. And that's let's go big into the box, see if they can defend it. We're in the box with the ball. Just force Madison to be better defenders. They can just sit in right now. That's a good shot, good opportunity at least. Force them to be better defenders rather than just sitting in there and kind of winning everything with feet. Move them out of position, make them chase a little bit. Right now, Madison is very content to just sit back and just be really good defensively by keeping the ball in front of them.
Headed by a blue ball, but it's going to end up down at the feet here of Jada Neal. Looking to make something happen all on her own.
Yeah, it's about it because Madison's not sending anybody else into the box. They really send some more players forward when it goes out for a throw-in. Certainly the speed of Jada Neal makes it difficult to keep up with a play like that, but you should know that if she's going to get the ball and be able to go length of the field, you got to load that box up a little bit. There's a throw-in again right to Clear Fork from Madison. Seen a lot of throw-ins just going to the wrong team.
Yeah, not a lot of crispness out here so far for either offensive unit.
It's going to be a Clear Fork throw.
Diving back inside of our fan zone. Remember to keep dropping us comments throughout the contest. And don't click on the links ever in our comments. We assume that our fans are smart enough to understand if you're already watching live and free, you don't need to go somewhere else to watch live and free. Or actually, they're asking for your credit card information. So a lot of bots out there, a lot of scams. Just try to avoid them at all costs. You already found the game. We got it. We got you covered.
There's a better ball by blue ball to stretch the defenders, turn them around a little bit. Brindley Barnett getting in the box. Good left foot cross. Handled well by the keeper. Jaden Pfeiffer gets off her line well, catches that cleanly. I like the development there by Clear Fork. It's really the first we've seen them kind of get behind the defenders a little bit. They certainly got some speed on the outside there. I think you just got to keep stretching that field. force Madison out of the middle a little bit. That's a much better play. Tough giveaway by Anders, though.
Second save by Jaden here so far tonight. Whistle comes in.
Some late contact there. It's going to be a Clear Fork free kick. Well, just over 10 minutes left in the game.
Both teams just looking for some type of a spark, some big burst that kind of gets everybody going, get the energy and the juices flowing in a little bit more positive direction.
And Marissa Adderholt's kind of adding another level for Madison there in the middle. Comfortable and skilled with the ball. Oh my goodness.
Wow. What a shot from way outside. Madison ties things up. I didn't even see that baby coming. Got to see the instant replay here.
Good play by Adderholt, just lays it off, and then looks like, is that Nally back, I think?
It is.
Big strike, big opportunity. Madison seemingly had nothing going for a while, and just a big goal with just over 10 remaining in the half.
So you talked about the difference that Adderholt was bringing. Sets that up. Madison has shown an ability to shoot from way outside here tonight. Well, when you got placement like that, it pays off, obviously. Beautiful execution that time from Natalie Beck on our Mechanics Bank replay. And we are all square 1-1. And that's exactly what I was talking about. Just one big play sometimes, Jesse, can get the energy going. Let's check it out one more time. Nice step over by Adderholt. Sets it up. Blast off. Corner pocket. Game time.
Yeah, love it. Love the opportunity there by Adderholt to set that up. I mean, good heads-up play. Plays in front of her, and back just steps up into it. Just smashes it cleanly. Top corner. Perhaps caught Anders a bit by surprise, but the placement was good enough. It didn't matter anyway. So big goal there. Kind of changed the dynamic of the game. Clear Fork had been pretty dominant in terms of the attack for the most part, and now Madison back in it, ties the game up, and a little momentum favoring them as well.
So we'll see if they can ride that spark over these next 9 minutes, or if it'll awaken Clear Fork a bit.
I think it's just the ability to put the ball into dangerous places. And I think that's what Adderholt is starting to do. I mean, just the ability to see the layoff there. But for Clear Fork, they're just not connecting the balls they want to connect. Now let's see if they can get wide one more time here before the first defender gets there. That's better. And then again, if they can. Yeah, just a little too slow. Perhaps not used to the pace of the game yet. Good speed by Jada Neal. Madison's content to just kind of let Jada press and everybody else just sit back and mark up a little bit.
That one put out of play by Kirshner, leading to a substitution. Coming in here, Zoe Lamp, freshman, going to get in the mix for the Lady Colts for her big sister Jada. So one lamp goes out, one lamp turns on.
Scores from around the area. Worthing Christian is beating Mansfield Christian 1-0 on the boys' side. Kind of a big rivalry that gets reignited on the Friday Night Futbol action. Kind of a fun one.
Also a fun matchup going on in the area tonight. Ontario Lady Warriors taking on Mansfield Christian.
There's some interesting Friday night games. Big ball in there. You know, Brinley Barnett is the one who played that initial ball in, again, behind the defenders. That's where all this chaos started, when the defenders had to run back, turn around, try and readjust everything. I think that's the ball that you got to keep looking for, is playing behind the defenders, in front of the keeper. I will say the keeper has done well, Pfeiffer has done well to come off her line and make the big saves. But I think that's the play you got to keep looking for when you get in that midfield third and the attacking third.
Swigert looking to draw some defenders, pushing it to the corner. Didn't have enough pace on it. So it'll lead to an Avery Wine throw-in here for Clear Fork. Looking for some options. Not a whole lot of movement. Everyone's standing, just looking. Able to sneak that through somehow. Got it to Blue Ball.
Good touch by Blakely just to battle there and keep the ball.
See, Madison's got some players now trying to make some runs, calling for the ball.
I like that ball by Adderholt again. That's dangerous. That's a dangerous ball in. I think Madison's opened the game up a little bit. I think we've seen both sides kind of just looking for that, not necessarily the bigger ball, but just playing behind the defenders a little bit, making them turn, making them readjust.
Hearing a little bit more communication, too, from the Madison side when they're getting the ball.
A panic shot there, not really a need for that from Ashton Wine.
Forced shot for Clear Fork here in this opening half. Good tackle in the takeaway by Jenica. As Clear Fork, a couple more subs here.
Morgan Schaefer and Lily Wertman checking back into the game.
Ball slapped to the middle of the field by Cyrus. Just nobody available there for the Lady Rams. Wine dribbles out of some pressure, but finds some Madison feet. See what they do with it. Here's Adderholt. Been pretty dominant in the midfield about the last 10 minutes.
It's a good battle in the middle with Labaki and Adderholt, two good players.
Good play for Wertman. Madison's defense back, getting aligned. Good pressure. And they end the attack.
Jada Neal's dropped back to kind of a left wing now. And number 8, Carly Wilson is the new striker for Madison. Checked in the game not too long ago and getting some minutes up top. Again, just kind of cycling through who's, how do you play with different strikers, different players in different positions. There's a quick one-on-one throw if she takes it. She goes to the middle instead.
Headed out of bounds by Bryn Kiley. Right back at us, so another throw in from basically the same spot. It looks like Madison kind of content to allow Clear Fork to keep the ball out there.
Good ball by Zoe Lamb.
Yeah, that one's going to sneak through. Big shot, but Pfeiffer's there. Catches it clean.
Just under 4 minutes remaining here in the first half. Game starting to result in some opportunities. The throw-ins have been interesting. I feel like neither team has kept possession off of a throw-in. The girls check them too. They're playing over top of their head. If they're going long, they play behind them, or they just play directly to their team. A lot of turnovers off a seemingly free play to keep possession off of.
And another one that's going to result in a turnover here. Here comes Natalie back. Giveaway. Went for the deep ball here on the near side, trying to find Swigert, and instead it's going to be counterattack developing here. Clear Fork got some numbers forward. Labaki thought about it. Quick pass in the gap, but it's intercepted.
And Clear Fork got some numbers forward, but didn't really use the numbers, just kind of played in front of the Madison defenders again. I still think you want to kind of go out wide, just move a defender out there. Well, which way they're going to go.
Oh, they're going to call it against Clear Fork.
Somebody was not going to be happy. One crowd was not going to be happy with that call. They just really collide in the middle of the field. You can see the replay here. Oh, it's actually definitely a foul on Madison if it's going to be a foul. And she initiated the contact. She ran into her. Clear Fork had the ball.
Hard to disagree with that. I thought no call probably would have been proper, but if anything, Natalie Back kind of initiated that conflict. But nevertheless, free kick. Now here comes Adderholt to Natalie, back to her. And the give and go results in a giveaway.
It's a better ball to separate from the defender. Barnett just pure speed on the outside now.
CD tries to cut back inside and says she'll play it to the middle, right to Tucker.
Labaki a little frustrated with that ball. I think there's a lot of chances, a lot of choices to be made, and that's not the one you wanted. Better composure there from Clear Fork.
Yeah, tons of space, too. Deep shot. And eventually, Piper comes through.
Lily Wertman hitting the long shot there. You know, I don't mind a long shot. I just think she could have advanced probably another touch before she faced any pressure at all. And long shot's fine, but if you get a little bit of a closer opportunity, why not?
Good looking ball back to her, then poked away from Lily.
Clear Fork just a little slow and get that final ball in, kind of waiting. They want to see it develop first. I think you have to initiate it with the ball. Clear Fork just waiting to see if the run's going to happen, if they're going to clear the defender, and then they try and play it, and it's just too late. Part of that's just chemistry. It's just confidence and just trusting your teammates a little bit.
50 seconds to go here in this opening half. Mel Bluebond just checked in. We'll see if she's utilized up here in the offensive attack. Can the Colts get one more threat here? Certainly going to try from the right wing.
It's a great ball. Blakely, bit of a heavy touch, but it's going to be a corner kick. 30 seconds left in the half. Melody Blueball is going to stay on the ball here. Clear Fork taking a little bit of time to get things going. She took it before the team was ready. The kick was rushed. The team wasn't ready, and it goes back to Madison, but back to Clear Fork after the touch.
So here comes Mel charging in, sets it up, but no Colts in sight. Right to Natalie back. And looks like Lady Colts might be running out of time here. 4 seconds when the throw's in the air. And that'll do it for the opening half. Clear Fork struck first. Natalie back. Helped Madison strike back as we are all square here at the break. Stay with us. We'll have some stats analysis and get you ready for the second half of this Richland County rivalry. It's live and free high school soccer exclusively on the OH Report.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
What's up, America? Brian Skoronsky here, and if you want to see me and the gang chop it up with some unintelligent conversation, we've got the show for you. Check out the OH Report video podcast every Monday, exclusively right here on the OH Report.
And welcome back to not your regularly scheduled programming, but now it is the roast of Jake Furr, Kurt Conrad. We're going to just be taking shots here all halftime long. Actually, let's just get back to the soccer, Jesse.
Taking shots. That's a good pun. That was a good setup for coming into the stats. Now we'll see who took the shots from the previous half.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at these halftime stats presented by Park National Bank. And we're looking at just one goal each. 6 shots for Clear Fork, 8 for Madison. Possession pretty similar to Jesse, so kind of break it down for me. Well, what's actually deciding this game right now at this point?
You know, I honestly, and this is something I talk about, I think turnovers are really what's keeping the game close right now. Both teams has just had some unfortunate and kind of undisciplined turnovers. You know, I mentioned the throw-ins, the inability to kind of break down the defenders with the pass. Everything's going right at their center backs. All those turnovers begin to add up over time, and it goes from what could be goal-scoring opportunities to giving the other team an opportunity with the ball. And so you really want to limit some of those turnovers. And I think for these guys right now, it's just learning. It's learning the flow of the game, learning the rhythm of the game, and learning where to put the ball, whether it's first touch or second touch. It's a lot of learning right now.
What do you think we learned more about in that first half, Jesse?
Yeah, I think both teams, we learned that the freshmen can play. That they're not here because it's a lack of numbers. They're here because it's a great amount of talent on their team. Clear Fork's got, I think, 6 or 7 freshmen that they've used in the lineup, if I'm not mistaken, or at least that are rostered and played 4 or 5. Madison started a striker freshman at striker. And so I think certainly the freshmen can play. I think Madison is very good defensively. I think their question is going to be, can they defend? Can they keep games to 1 or 2 goals from the opponent? And then how can they counter? Can they score? Can they get opportunities? Certainly if Nally back can step up and hit some shots like that, that's great. That's a great way to score goals. But through the flow of the game, can they develop goal-scoring opportunities? And we've not seen a lot of that yet from Madison.
Well, one place where they're seeing a lot of goal-scoring opportunities is over at Ontario in their soccer complex tonight, where I've got a halftime score. Lady Warriors with a 7 spot right now on Mansfield Christian. So big first half for Ontario, starting off their season on the right foot. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with your second half action here at the Clear Fork Corral. Stay with us.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
Welcome back to the Park National Bank halftime, where tonight's high school soccer broadcast brought to you live and free on the OH Report, thanks to our generous sponsors, of course, Park National Bank, where you mean more. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community. Mechanics Bank, that's better. And Stutz Fresh Market, serving the Valley for generations. Stop in, check out their bakery, deli, and fresh meats right here in the heart of Belleville. Well, 40 minutes in the books, 40 minutes of action still to come here. A couple of teams getting some youngsters in the mix, some veterans making some contributions here so far. We saw one go down with an injury, unfortunately for Clear Fork, in the first couple of minutes. So a lot still to be decided here as we're getting ready for second half action. I'm Brian Skoronsky. Jesse Ryder is joining me here tonight. The second half of our doubleheader to kick off the high school season here. Some Friday Night Futbol, one of the cool things that I think the state of Ohio has implemented to put soccer on their own center stage. Don't get to play on a lot of Friday nights, especially schools that have football. So I think it's awesome that they've got this. But, man, really coming early this year, Jesse, as everything just started less than a week and a half ago for a lot of these teams.
About 12 days, honestly. I mean, it's a great opportunity. Cool atmosphere, fun, unique experience. It is fast, though. I know. I was talking to some of the coaches, and they were playing tonight, but then they had a scrimmage next week. So it's just trying to find that rhythm a little. Yeah, it's just it's good. It's new. It's exciting. Clear Fork has already played a ball. They refused to play in the first half. Into that corner behind the defenders, results in a throw in here. Now, this was the other problematic part for both teams, is just that throw-in. It's a misplay, but it's going to get in the box at her feet.
Hey, there's a look at the student section here for Clear Fork as that ball bobbled by the keeper, and Madison looking to clear, and they will, right to the feet of Adderholt. But here we go. Now they're going to make some noise for us. This is what I'm talking about. This is what makes Friday Night Futbol awesome, is that these football players can come out here. They can support their soccer team on a Friday night. Of course, no school yet for any of these programs around here, but when you get to play on this particular occasion, you don't get to see soccer a lot on a Friday, so just one of the cool things that we're happy to be a part of here on the OH Report. And quite a few soccer matches going down in the area tonight. We mentioned Worthington Christian over at Mansfield Christian, and then also Ontario kind of putting a hurting on Mansfield Christian so far here tonight. And we talked a little bit on the podcast on Monday, Jesse, about some of the teams that we're expecting to see a lot from here in the area. If you want to just quickly recap, since we got the girls on right now, some of the teams, maybe just a few that you're feeling like should have the spotlight on them and we should be paying attention to.
Yeah, I think it's the same that it's always been, honestly. I think it's a little tighter gap. I think, Madison has kind of been the one that advances out of the tournament for a pretty decent amount of time now.
5 straight years district champs.
5 straight years. I think last year kind of caught everybody by surprise a little bit. But I think they're proving tonight that they can still play, right? They still got players. They're still talented. They're still, very successful at what they do. Obviously, this game's got a bit of time left in it. Good shot there from Labaki. But, I think the scoreline for Ontario is interesting because I know they started 3 freshmen, and if those freshmen are already firing all cylinders, if they're scoring, they're getting opportunities forward, they're just going to get better as the year progresses. I mean, that's a team that, when you add 3 freshmen to a team that's already got a decent amount of talent there, I think that's going to be an exciting group there. I like them. I like this Clear Fork team. I've not been super impressed with what they've done so far yet tonight, but I don't think this is the best Clear Fork we're going to see throughout the year. I think we'll have them a couple times, and I would expect them to be incrementally better each time. And so I think it's those 3. I think Madison's certainly there. Clear Fork is there. Ontario is there. I think Lexington's kind of this wild card where they graduate, I think, 11 or 12 seniors.
Right.
But also they got a young core that have been waiting. Been waiting for those 12 seniors to graduate. With no disrespect to them, they just want their moment to play and their time to play. And so I think those 4 are going to be competing again. Mansfield Christian, I know, lost some players. They weren't super deep to begin with. I'm curious to see a team like Crestview, who's been good in recent years. They've also lost a lot to graduation. How will that translate? And then Ashland is the one where that's a good touch by Labaki. Right at the keeper, though.
Who has to make a diving save.
The first 5 minutes of the second half has already had more opportunities than most of the first half. So I think Clear Fork has really kind of stepped their game up a little bit. They're playing that ball into space now. It's not just everything in front of the Madison defenders. And that's resulted in a good scoring opportunity, a good build-up at least.
For Clear Fork in that first half, I didn't sense like a lot of urgency when they were getting into the attacking third. Feels like a little bit of a different atmosphere right now, maybe since they're heading towards the student section, trying to impress some of these football boys. I don't know what it is, but something is changing for them here in these opening minutes. We'll see if they can keep it up.
Absolutely. No, I agree. Whether it's the football boys or not, I don't know, but there is a different level of just kind of energy within their game right now. Lights, maybe the jitters are kind of gone. They lost arguably their best player in the first minute of the game, so there's part of that of trying to overcome that part of it. So there's a lot in that, and so but there is some composure in the beginning of the second half. Now foul there from the referee. Madison trying to get on the counterattack.
Well, I did notice over there in the student section, we're talking about those football boys, their starting quarterback, Victor Skoog, and he was part of our conversation a lot in our Friday night Pigskin preview. You can catch that at 9:30 tonight. Right after this match, we are going to preview all of the teams that we cover in North Central Ohio. I think we got like 11 preview videos. Eric Will's on there, so you know that there's a whole wealth of football knowledge that's going to be dropped on you guys. So make sure that the action continues on the OH Report. Once we're done with the Friday Night Futbol, we'll transition right into football. Cannot believe that the season is already less than a week away. A couple of big-time contests going to be kicking off on Thursday night next week, and you can preview all the action with me in the gang right after this match.
That's it. Clear Fork and Lucas. Is that the right opening matchup? Is that?
Yep, that's going to be down at Bob Wine Field in Lucas. They contemplated moving it here because they just feel like there's going to be a lot of interest, a lot of fans are going to want to come out to the game. And, of course, over at Lucas, don't have the biggest of stands, but, hey, there's always standing room only. So I think that's the method that they're going with.
The Lucas environment is unmatched, though. I mean, for such a small school, ball girls on the field there, it's not good. Such a small school, they do so well just, producing such a quality team year in and year out for the past decade or so, and then B, it's a blast. It's a blast to be at a Lucas football game with no other reason outside of it's just fun. It's a fun atmosphere.
Who else has fireworks in the area? Nobody. Just the Lucas Cubs. They've got all of the cool stuff. They have like 50 sound effects. Big shout-out Bill Zurzo over there, who's been running the 1s and 2s for many, many years. I really hope that he's back again this season. I know that his kids have all graduated at this point. But you're right. An unmatched small school environment that I have seen, and it's great that it's right here in our own backyard.
It's just impressive, and we can get back to girls soccer in a second, that a school the size of Lucas can produce the quality of athletes in multiple sports, football, basketball, boys and girls. I mean, they just in cross country, I think they had some top runners. It just, it must be every boy in the school is part of at least some athletic program in some way. There's a good opportunity by Wertman.
Yeah, excellent throw into the box. However, yet again, Jaden Pfeiffer, she's been on it. When she's been called upon, she's made the plays.
Absolutely. I think Wertman either took a smack to the face or the ball to the face, kind of holding her face a little bit, checking to see if her nose is bleeding perhaps. So it might have been the ball to the face, honestly. Didn't hit it super cleanly. Madison, or Clear Fork's pressure right now, just picking up their intensity to go forward. And there's going to be another throw in. Let's see if they get some numbers up. You just feel like Clear Fork's just moments away from getting another goal here with the energy and pace they're playing at now. Certainly different than the first half.
Yeah, I see Lily keeps grabbing for her nose or her lip or something.
Referee was checking as well just to make sure there's no blood.
So maybe that's going to make her mad. Here's an intended target for Lily. And some players thrive when they've got a little bit of anger, a little bit of chip on their shoulder. So that one's going to roll out of bounds here near side. And there's a good look. She keeps cupping, but hey, if they're letting her stay in the game, well, maybe they're going to stop it now.
Spoke too soon. I don't know. They're going to check her again. She wasn't bleeding 4 seconds ago, and they're going to check again. Still not bleeding, and we're good to go.
Like, look, I'm cool. I can't help but keep touching it, but
I know it is interesting to just keep grabbing it. Maybe it's more of the mouth area. I don't know.
So Clear Fork comes away with the rock out of the throw-in. Labaki looking for a turn.
It's a good hold-up play by Labaki. Plays in the corner. That's much better from Clear Fork. Can Blue Ball get a ball in? It's a big tackle.
Yeah, excellent pressure right there by Cyrus. Now she will bring it inside, but yet again, nice play by the keep.
Yeah, Pfeiffer, one bobble that led to a goal, but outside of that, she's done well to get off her line, make the save she's needed to make. But Clear Fork right now is just, there's some confidence with the ball. You can see it's just different, right? There's just a little bit of swagger when they have it. They're looking downfield. Ooh.
Yeah, breaking ankles right there. You saw a little tumble to the turf by Lily Nill. Grabbing her back like she's going to have problems after that move.
That's a great save. Yeah, well done by the referee to make that call. That's a great save. Gets off her line, just dives in it. If Clear Fork gets the first touch on that, it just kind of is going to deflect over or somewhere else. But way to get off her line and just attack that ball. You can see her just break on it. That's huge, huge save.
So Jaden Pfeiffer here in her first career varsity start, doing some nice things for Madison in between the pipes. Big ball down the far sideline is going to trickle its way out of bounds in front of the Rams bench. Madison team who, as mentioned, 5 straight district titles. And how would you like to be Ontario on the losing end of all 5 of those, Jesse, after they had such a run in the area? They were the dominant program.
Jeez, throw them right under that bus.
Hey, I mean, they got a lot going on in their favor here tonight, so sometimes you don't want to give them too much love. You got to beat people back down to size, and unfortunately for Ontario, they have been on the losing end each time.
Yeah, it's such a heated district. I mean, everything, games like this matter because when you get to the sectional voting, seeds matter. You want the home field advantage. You want to be able to control that a little bit, and so seemingly kind of I'll say meaningless, but not meaningless game here with crosstown teams But it might carry some weight at the end of the season. It's interesting, and just as you factor in things like that, every game matters, in this sectional, in this district.
Anders comes out, able to snag that one at its highest point. Another game of interest in the area. Shelby, who's in the district now with their soccer program, becoming a real team. They're at the half, and they are on top 2-0 over Hillsdale.
Certainly they've done a good job of building that program in Shelby, a relatively new program, I think within 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, I think that's just their 4th year.
Yeah, certainly. You love to see programs kind of grow and succeed and kind of reach new things. So, we talk about environment and experiences. This is a huge thing for Shelby that this might be the first time ever. I'm not familiar with their schedule from last year, but that they get a Friday night, kind of Friday football atmosphere. And, it's great. They've certainly done a good job of building the program and getting numbers up and some talent there. So it's interesting. I think girls soccer continues to grow, not just in talent levels of the top programs, but even from the other programs are getting incrementally better each year.
And you've got a great pulse on that here in the area, just seeing some of the younger girls coming up from the middle school levels and even younger. It does feel like there's just a lot of excitement in the area and some great young talent. I mean, heck, you just took a team overseas to Denmark playing against some players and some teams from around the world, and you come back as undefeated champions. So there's some talent around here, my friend.
Absolutely. We took a loaded team over there. We knew we were going to be good, but I loved the attitude of the team was they wanted to get better each game. We had some training sessions over there. In fact, one of our players is out here for Clear Fork tonight. Zoe Lamp was on our team and had a great contribution to the team. But it was great to see that here we are on a world stage playing teams from all over the world, and we're competing at a high level with predominantly area girls and some from Columbus area, some from out of state as well. But for the most part, the majority of our team was made up of Clear Fork, Lex, Ontario, and that demographic. So really unique and fun opportunity.
Were you able to learn any Danish over there, or did you just eat Danish while you were abroad?
Now, listen, the most embarrassing thing is you travel on the buses around to games, to hotels, wherever you're staying. I'm on the bus with a Norwegian team, and the girls are 11 and 12, and they're trilingual. They're speaking Norwegian to me, they're speaking Dutch, and then they know English, and so they're trying to teach me some words. And I can barely get away with speaking English. So it's it's just one of those things. Like, what am I doing with my language life? These girls are 10, 11 years old, and they know 3 languages, and here I am.
Yeah, that's one of the most impressive things about those European nations is that typically you have to know at least 2 languages as you want to get around. So, yeah, they definitely got a one-up on us here in America where we kind of butcher our own language. And I kind of talk for a living too, Jesse, and it's hard for me, so I couldn't even imagine.
Right? I know. I wish that going back, I wish I just would, at a younger age, would have just learned other languages. But, culturally, that just doesn't happen around here. But for there it did, and they had a good time laughing at me trying to pronounce Norwegian words and Danish words, and I just felt sad about myself.
Well, we don't have to travel too far then down that tunnel, Jesse. We'll just leave it right there. As there's a big collision. Madison coming away with the ball, but a late whistle coming in, stopping what could have been a nice build-up. Had a couple players in the middle of the field.
Yeah, certainly a great multicultural experience for us to be able to, not obviously there's a language difference, but just seeing teams from all over the world. I'll tell you one of my favorite moments, and obviously we played well. We were in the championship game, and our girls had made friends with a bunch of other teams, and part of what we did is we just passed out some of our old jerseys. And so I look up in the stadium at the championship game, and I just see Lexington jerseys, Ontario jerseys, Clear Fork jerseys,
wow,
all from these Norwegian teams who we had befriended over the week that were there. It's kind of an interesting sight because it threw me at first. I'm like, wait, who's here from Lexington cheering us on? But then I realized it was these teams we had played who just, they loved our team. Our team was a lot of fun. Obviously, they were competitive and skilled, but they were fun as well. And so it's just kind of a cool sight to see.
Yeah, it's so awesome that you guys got to have that opportunity and the experience. And, hey, anytime you're a winner, it's going to elevate your level of fun. So it looked like you checked all the boxes overseas.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Somebody asked me today, they said, did you eat anything unique in Denmark that you would not eat in the States? And I said, well, I did. It's not native to Denmark. It just happened to be at the restaurant. We were celebrating kind of our championship night, and the restaurant had kangaroo.
Oh.
And I just thought, well, when in Denmark, I guess. I don't know.
Could you liken that to any meat that we have here in the States?
So I had it twice. The first time it was like super spicy. I loaded up with spices and seasoning. It tasted fine. It tasted like, kind of beef or something. Second time was spiceless, and it not near as flavorful as you would like.
Noted. One time I was able to enjoy some mountain lion. And that was, I had it 2 times. Basically the same exact situation. One time I had it with eggs and cheese. Very, very good. Second time by itself, pretty gamey. Not that delicious.
That is exactly how I felt about the kangaroo. Also, some of the girls seem scarred that actually ate kangaroo, but.
Nice step. Big shot. Oh, it was curving right where it needed to be for the goal, but just a bit tall for Ashton Wine. But you see the skill set here of this freshman.
Kind of the free kick specialist for Clear Fork. I've seen her play for a number of years and able to kind of hit free kicks from all over. That was certainly the case there.
6th shot here for Clear Fork in the second half as we're only 16 minutes gone by here. So certainly they've elevated their offensive game. They looked at times in the first half like they were a little bit indecisive, wouldn't really commit like you were saying. Girls were making runs after the fact or making passes a little bit too late. Here in the second half, I've liked a lot more of what we've seen. It seems like there's more determination, and they don't have any goals to show for it, but I think the confidence level is starting to swell a little bit.
Absolutely. No, I agree with that exactly. I think that their energy, their execution is better. It's still 1-1. It's been a dominant second half. Minus the fact they've not scored any goals. So semi-dominant, I guess you would say. Dominant in the sense of terms of attacking and possession, but not in terms of goals.
Yeah, I don't have Madison down for a registered shot here in the second half. So it's almost kind of like deja vu of the boys game that we saw earlier where we saw Madison in the first half. They had most of the shots. And now here in the second half, looking a little bit different. Not quite as sharp offensively, whereas Clear Fork starting to find their footing and getting a lot more better looks here in half number 2.
Yeah, I think one of the things Clear Fork did early in this half was kind of open the game up with just the width here. And now they're kind of narrow again. You can see their farthest wide player is really in the middle of the field, and which allows Madison to just kind of stay compact in the middle. I think you really got to look to stretch them out and draw a player or two out, give you some space and time to work with. Otherwise, it just ends up in this game of just kind of kicking the ball hard at other people.
Too much behind that pass right there from Rudy Moore to the outside, so it gives Clear Fork the ball back, though she's able to recover there, slap it out of play.
It was the first time I kind of saw them go for the throw and over the top of a defender. Worked out well for them. Not a lot of movement off the ball for the throw-ins for Clear Fork, and it's just been problematic for something seemingly so simple that just, again, throwing into kind of high pressure there.
Looking for Zoe Lamp. Now this one's going to be lobbed cross field. And that one-on-one play there for Ashton Wine didn't work out. As Natalie back able to clear here through the middle of the field. We'll see if Madison can start getting some numbers forward. Most of the possession coming on the offensive end here for the Lady Colts.
It's a bit of a counterattack for Madison, though. It's still 2-on-4, but definitely a chance to go forward. Ooh, just kind of right through the legs of Callie Cyrus.
Great looking ball here in transition for Wine. Gets by the defender.
It's a great touch by Ashton Wine to separate now. See if he can get the back post ball in. Good ball. Defended well by Madison, though. It is going to be a corner, but it's a great touch by Ashton Wine to separate from the defender, give herself some space. Probably would like to see her put that ball over top the first player and go to the back post, but sometimes on those long runs you just kind of settle for what happens.
Morgan Schaefer checking in. Avery Wine spells out here. As the sun setting here over the beautiful Clear Fork Valley. And it really is an awesome sight from up here in the press box. A lot of different colors. The tree line. Beautiful part of the country out here. We'll see if Blue Ball can deliver anything off of this. She'll get one more crack at it. There's a good looking shot of the valley.
Yeah, being up in the press box, you can just see so many different things here, from the school, the church, the corn. I'm assuming it's corn. I don't know my vegetation that well, I guess, to identify it from here, but what presumably is corn and some other soccer fields. Just kind of a really cool setting here.
Some indecisiveness here by Barnett. Now she uncorks one. Back, the first to get ahead on it. Blue Boss sets it up middle of the field. Labaki pressured immediately. And it'll race out of bounds for a Madison throw. Good pressure, nice takeaway by Kirshner. Sneaking in from the backside. Though she loses possession, so Clear Fork staying on the attack. Got some numbers forward. Madison, everybody back, all 11 players beyond the 30. So we'll see what they're even able to do with this one with 5 defenders back for Clear Fork. Collision and no call.
Bit of a careless turnover there. And Madison's in on the counterattack a little bit. Still not enough numbers.
Yeah, it's going to have to be an individual effort here by Swigert.
Some score updates from around the area. Ontario beating Mansfield Christian girls 12-1. And then Mansfield Christian boys losing to Worthing Christian boys 1-0 with about 10 to go right now. Big ball in. Anders handles it well.
And we're seeing it's now 12-1 in the second half in favor of Ontario. So what do you think that says more in that matchup? The Mansfield Christian just really not on the level yet of some of these upper teams that play Division II? And or do you think Ontario might be kind of a sleeper team? They graduated so many girls. Last year was supposed to be the year. Hey, they had state championship aspirations. Do you think maybe some of the younger kids on that team better than expected?
Yes. Yes to both of those things.
Fair and fair.
I think Mansfield Christian, I think they're certainly not at the level they have been. And I think if Ontario, if it's the next man up mentality there, they've got some people who have been waiting for this moment, and then adding some super talented freshmen into that mix as well, I think really just bodes itself to all of a sudden you have a super talented team. You know, how that matches up against, the opponents we're watching tonight will be interesting, and also Lexington. And, Ontario plays a loaded schedule, as does Clear Fork, and I haven't seen Madison's schedule this year, but previously they have played a loaded schedule as well. A little slow to hurt. It looks like holding her elbow. Not sure what happened there.
I think she might have got stepped on. Little cleat to the arm.
That'll get you sometimes.
So Madison backtracking, looking to reverse field. Davis does switch sides. Jesse getting some waves up here in the press box. Almost always the most popular man on the crew. I mean, how many kids have you coached in this area? Are we
Oh,
getting into like 1,000 yet?
I don't know.
Maybe
I don't know.
more?
Some girls made signs, though. It was fun. Some of the ball girls tonight, or most of them were on one of my teams, and they made signs for me.
Oh, wow.
Big deal. Big deal up here.
I don't know that I've ever had a sign made for me, Jesse. I've been doing this job for a long time. So, obviously, you're an elite category, and we're proud to have you as part of the OH report here.
My new goal is to have someone ask for an autograph. It's my new level of fame I'd like to strive for. In a completely selfish and vain way, but sometimes it happens.
Gotta have those life goals.
Gotta have life goals. Nothing bigger than an autograph. A little bit of a misplayed ball there. The pace of the game has slowed down a little bit. There's going to be a foul there, I think. Yep, there it is. So 16 minutes left to go. Still 1-1. Clear Fork started the second half with a bit of a frantic pace, lots of opportunities, but no goals to show for it. Game's kind of even out a little bit again.
Oh, bit of a lucky turn that time, but
Heavy touch from Ashton, but she's still good. That's the ball you want, though. Deep into the corner for Brindley. Maybe a little too deep, but I like it. I like what they're doing there. It's going to be a goal kick.
yeah, last touch by Barnett.
That's, a little too deep, but that's the ball I think you want. It brought the center back over. She had to come out of the middle, and then if it's a little closer to Barnett, she lays it off. It's a good opportunity. They're getting there. I think that's what you see with freshmen is you have the opportunities to – you see the talent. It's just kind of those type of plays, little things, a little touch on the ball, little bit of space. They'll start to add up over time, and so I think that really just comes with game experience. I think Ashton Wine's really kind of setting herself apart in this game. Has done well every time she's getting the ball, head up, looking to make a play downfield.
Good looking ball by Callie Cyrus in stride. We'll see if Madison can start getting some numbers forward here. As that's sent, but knocked out of bounds. Corner kick coming up here for the Lady Rams.
We talked about some of the club coaches around the area. Certainly one of the coaches that has done a great job with club and rec, and also is Coach Bechtel. I mean, she is just so involved in the Clear Fork community. She was telling me today that I think there's 5 or 6 freshmen she started coaching when they were on maybe 4th or 5th grade on their club team. And obviously seeing some of the results of that out here now. I mean, just some super talented players that she's been part of their development and now gets part of kind of that next phase of development when you get to the high school level.
As that one sails over top, take a quick minute to thank all of our generous sponsors here that bring you the action live and free. You never have to pay when you watch a game on the OH Report. Big thank you to Park National Bank, where you mean more. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community. Mechanics Bank, that's better. And Stutz Fresh Market, serving the Valley for generations. Stop in, check out their bakery, deli, and fresh meats right here in the heart of Belleville.
There's a better combination play from Clear Fork. A bit of a rough ball there. No, I like the Knox Community Hospital slogan, in the community for that works. That flows. Kudos to Knox Community Health for a good slogan. I might use that.
Great hospital. Love the communication that we've been having with them. We're definitely going to beef up our relationship with them as they're trying to expand their reach a little bit more out of Knox, try to come up here into the southern part of Richland County, and just all A1 people, everyone that I have met from the hospital, certainly highly, highly recommend.
It's interesting. If you go out of Knox County and you're the Knox County Hospital, do you look at a name change at some point? Something to think about. In the community, for the community.
So if you're listening, if you're out there, Knox folks, I'd probably stick with the name, but who knows?
Yeah,
so much rebranding these days.
Going into Richland County might be something worth considering.
Yeah, good point.
That's another conversation. We'll talk about that on the podcast.
Yeah, looking forward to your top 5 teams. Now, how much time do you need before you put out your first evaluation where you have a true top 5? You want about 2 weeks here?
I got to stop doing those number 1 things and just pick one, but
just go with your gut.
Well, the thing is, they don't play each other till later in the season, and they have similar results. Now, this one will be interesting. I think Ontario, at this point, is going to have to be the number 1, just for a convincing team that I had said, hey, Mansfield Christian could be one of the top 5 teams. Or if you beat the top 5 teams by 2 touchdowns, it's a pretty good standard to set. And then here we've got 2 other teams who are in a 1-1 battle. Pretty even. I will say it's closer than I thought. I expected Clear Fork to get a few more goals in this. I think Madison has defended really well. They haven't created a lot of opportunities in the second half. They've done enough to stay in the game. It's still 1-1. A quick counterattack, and it could be 2-1 Madison. And so it's one of those games where if you just defend really well, you give yourself a chance at the end of the game.
Lady Rams looking for their 9th consecutive win over Clear Fork. They did tie 1-1 back in 2016. Since then, it has been all Madison, including the tournament. So Clear Fork, of course, would love to end that streak here on their home surface and kick off the season on the right foot. They're starting to play in this traditional Friday Night Futbol rivalry now. So for Clear Fork, you just love to kick off the season with a nice W over a team that's kind of owned you for the better part of half decade, and minus arguably your top player going out in the first couple of minutes. This could be a huge confidence boost for this team, and with all these youngsters getting this action in here tonight. So either which way, whichever team comes out on top, always a great building block towards the rest of your season.
A 1-1 draw was always one of my least favorite results because it was one of those games where you just like, if you just did a little bit more, we just finish this chance, all of a sudden the game's over and we win. But the opposite is true too. Certainly, Madison has had a couple of goal-scoring opportunities earlier in the game where they could have had their goal earlier, made it 2-1. I feel like 1-1 is tough because it's just right there. Just proves you're both equal. Ooh. Good call by the referee. I think a little bit of arm there to take her down. Obviously, I hate to lose, so I'd rather draw than lose. But just feel like 1-1 was always such a competitive game where just a couple little plays could have made a big difference, especially in a game like this where I think there's just a couple little things that make a big difference for either team. And part of that being that type of play there where you're playing into 4 Madison players. A little bit of the numbers game of what do you think is going to happen and being able to read that a little bit.
So the Colts emerge from the pack. Looking to play through the middle. But here comes Natalie. Been pretty solid in the center mid so far throughout the duration of the match for Madison, who got a lot of contributions from Adderholt there at the end of the first half. Haven't seen Marisa get quite as involved offensively here in half number 2, and they really need a spark, Jesse. I still don't have them down for a shot here unless I missed something here in the second half.
Yeah, they've gotten deep into the box a little bit, but I don't recall any shots on goal.
I don't think so.
On cue, Adderholt gets the ball. It's a big tackle by Zoe Lamp in the middle there. So the game's been pretty back and forth for the most part, outside of that opening 10 minutes in the second half for Clear Fork where they were really looking good for a few minutes, and then it's kind of opened back up, kind of inconsistent in terms of possession.
See if Madison starts sending some numbers forward. They've consistently held 4 players back at the midfield, while Clear Fork really just having the 1 forward there. So it's been such a numbers game tilted in favor of the Lady Colts here in this second half. See if Coach Zach Huff at some point elects to get some more bodies in the mix.
Yeah, I think the back line for Madison has been solid. Mila Davis, Nally back you mentioned earlier, and obviously get a goal when you're kind of that center back defensive mid role, depending on how you classify her. Getting a goal from that position is huge. But I thought, and Taylor Tucker as well. I mean, they've just defended well. They've just done their job. They've kept the ball in front of them. So I think you certainly have to credit them when you talk about the style of Clear Fork. You have to credit what they've done and have been able to do.
Tucker came up there and tried to put it into the box. Lady Rams now scattered outside of the 18, looking to make their move as that one in the middle of the field could be a dangerous ball.
Ball just kept bouncing around that same area for a long time. No one kind of stepped in and just got it out of there. Good step by Taylor Tucker, kind of keeping the ball up in that area.
Yeah, she seems to be getting a little bit more aggressive here. Maybe she heard me and she's like, you know what, Brian, you're right. Let's get involved here.
Do you have the headphones to the girls? That's an interesting development where you're providing advice out there. And is it free of charge? Or are you charging?
It's always free here on the
charging
Report,
for your
Jesse.
knowledge. Always free.
I don't know what kind of. I don't think anybody would pay for my soccer knowledge. Let's be honest. I gave up the sport in 8th grade, so I don't have a whole lot to really go by in terms of my pedigree. So we leave all that to you.
Deal. Good ball in. Renee Anders off her line quickly and catches it cleanly. Something Clear Fork has struggled with, kind of the big punt from Renee, is be able to keep possession off the punt. Let's see how it works out here.
It's a nice one.
Was a nice punt. A lot of contact in the middle.
So Lily Wortman kind of sold it, I think, a bit here. We'll take another look on the Mechanics Bank replay.
A little bit of contact, a little bit of acting. I think we're all in agreement there. Madison hold their line right around the 18-yard line here. And looks like Avery Wine's going to take it. Hard driven ball in, defended nicely by Madison. Not cleared away effectively, though.
So Clear Fork going to stay here with numbers forward. Tucker with the pressure forces that one just a bit out wide for Barnett. Brings it back now for Belcher. Looking to send it into the box. Now she will back post.
It's a great touch by Belcher just to create some space and a great ball in. Defended nicely again by Madison. Sophia Perry so calm and collected back there. Does well to keep it, find it wide.
Really like the defensive unit for Clear Fork. They've been solid, sharp. Some juniors back there that have played quite a few minutes here at the varsity level. Headlined by Perry.
Good skill by Blue Ball there, but puts the final ball right at the keeper.
Good look there at longtime head coach out here, Brittany Bechtel, who you talked about it. I don't know how many teams she coaches, more than you somehow, I think. And
so,
that's a lot of
she's
teams.
Involved in like every team in Clear Fork, I'm pretty sure. If they're a girls team, she's listed as the assistant coach, I'm pretty sure, and also does their training, helps out, and every girl in Clear Fork just loves Brittany. I mean, even if you're not a soccer player, she's a great teacher, great coach, great person.
Yeah, it's not to love, man. Fiery redhead that just wants to be involved as much as she can. If you like soccer, she likes you.
Fair.
Good looking move to the middle of the field. So the Rams.
I think fatigue has set in a little bit for both teams. The pace of the game slowed down, but Madison get a little bit of an attack here. Marissa Adderholt confident on the ball.
Yeah, turned into some trouble, though. Didn't see the second defender coming.
I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know if it was kind of a late flop or just maybe stumbled a little bit. Didn't really look like a foul so much, but.
Closing in on the, championship minutes now. Less than 5 minutes to go. Crunch time here.
Madison's picked up a little bit of life here all of a sudden. So we just well to hold the ball, get it wide.
Counterattack. I mean, they got Wortman basically working by herself right now. And that was a role that they've had Windsor in last year, where they were confident just sending it forward and she had the speed. And if you're just joining us, she was lost in less than 2 minutes here tonight. We think maybe a foot injury, but I don't know. She's on crutches on the sideline. Definitely wishing her a speedy recovery. Gotta hope that she can return to the action. Such a stud junior for them. But they've done well without her. As we get a foul here, and that scuffle go against Clear Fork.
Just under 4 minutes to play. I'm going to be a little methodical in your approach. Both teams have quite a few subs. Clear Fork's got 3 waiting to check in. Madison's got 2. Madison's keeper is creeping up. Is she going to take the free kick here? She is not.
Well, she wanted to.
Creeping back. I had a keeper like that, wanted to be involved in every free kick. You just had to watch, make sure they weren't trying to get in somewhere they shouldn't be.
Adderholt lobs one into the corner. Going to be out of reach. Too far for Jada Neal, even with her speed.
So Ashton Wine, Alexis Rodriguez, and Addie Blakely all checking in for Clear Fork to finish the game out.
Colts connecting on 3 straight passes down the near sideline, but only Tucker available for the last, but it was actually rolled over the touchline, so here comes a throw-in.
A bit of a miscue defensively there for Clear Fork, but not much pressure from Madison. Now there is. Kind of a sloppy end of the game here, still not super clean. We've seen spurts of good things from both teams, but not consistently yet.
Labaki with a little bit of space.
Good touch by Blue Ball.
Neal to the middle of the field. Ends up in the back line again for Clear Fork. So a little bit of a seesaw with the possession here, going back and forth.
Good ball by Ashton Wine again into the corner, stretching the field, making it a little bigger. Clear Fork's picking up their pace. Addie Blakely, quick throw to Ashton Wine. Can let us know in the fan zone, who do you think is tonight's MVP? A lot of different players out there tonight have contributed at times, so drop a comment. Let us know who is tonight's player of the game. Let us know in the comment section who you think it is.
Well, Jesse, I think that you're entitled to a vote yourself. Do you got any front runners right now out of the stable?
I'll tell you what, the second half I've been really impressed with Ashton Wine. I thought she's done a nice job. Not to continue to give love to all the freshmen here, but she's played with her head up. She's played that attacking ball into space a little bit. A couple opportunities to score. Certainly she would be up there. I think Anna Kalabaki's done a nice job in the middle for Clear Fork. For Madison, Natalie Back certainly has contributed a high level both defensively and obviously scoring that smash of a goal. Referee's not sure what he wants to do with the throw, and he just kind of held his hands up.
Now that one bounces into trouble. A lot of contact. It's always tough to make that call, especially at the end of the game within the box. And now it looks like Clear Fork's back line. You see everybody moving up. This is where you start getting a little bit of eagerness as we're down to 30 seconds. Because like you mentioned, the 1-1 draw just has a little bit of blah to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Just want to get one more good opportunity.
Ooh.
Oh, gosh, okay, hit the head. Bit of a tough tackle there. I don't think it's necessarily a foul. They just kind of fell into each other.
Yeah, Swigert's up. Still able to use that knee that she's favoring to do a side kick.
It's a bad turnover by Perry. 5 seconds left.
Can we get some fireworks here at the end? Doesn't look like we will, so we will end with the second draw in the last 10 meetings between these two teams. 1-1 is your final score here. No scoring in the second half. So make sure that you get your votes in for the MVP in our comment section. And we'll defer to you, the fans here tonight. I don't really know where to go with this one. I think there's a handful of players that could be in the conversation. So drop us a comment. Let us know. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back for our Park National Bank postgame, including the MVP interview. Stay with us.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community. At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
What's up, America? Brian Skoronski here, and if you want to see me and the gang chop it up with some unintelligent conversation, we've got the show for you. Check out the OH Report video podcast every Monday, exclusively right here on the OH Report.
I'm here with Mechanics Bank Player of the Game, Ashton Wine, freshman debut tonight. As a freshman,
I think we all played our best, but I think we can play a lot better than we did.
Sure. Tell me, was it fun? Did you have a good time out here, just getting to play, getting kind of under the lights, first Friday night game, first varsity, kind of real game experience? What did you think going in?
Oh, I was really, really scared to come in, but I just. I don't know.
It's all right. Let's talk about expectations for this season. A young team, a fun team, athletic, talented. What is the team expectations for the year? What are some goals you guys have set?
Just to make it. I don't know. Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed.
Just say win the next game.
Yeah, just to win the next game.
Got it. All right, this is Ashton Wine, Mechanics Bank Player of the Game. Ashton, anybody want to say hello to out there?
Just my family. Hello. I'll probably watch.
Thanks, Ashton. All right, Brian, we'll back to you with stats in just a minute.
All right, thank you, Jesse. Hey, these freshmen, it's their first time with the spotlight on them. Sometimes you're just speechless. I understand. Again, I mentioned during the boys' game, I never got an opportunity to play in a varsity game as a freshman, so I bet it's a little bit nerve-wracking. And I see her down there talking to Jessie with a big smile on her face. So at least, hey, we're getting these girls trained up for the future because we're sure that she's going to be a part of a lot of conversations here on the OH Report. Moving forward, this is the first of many. Let's check out these final stats of the evening, presented by the one, the only Park National Bank and Clear Fork dominating in the second half. No question about it. They had the run of play. They had the offensive attack working, flowing. They just looked like they found some confidence and some more seams, some feet in the second half. However, we're not able to capitalize. 8 shots in the second half for the Colts. None in the second half for Madison. So I think you got to give a ton of credit to the Clear Fork defense for stepping up, making it tough on the Lady Rams. However, a little bit of a drop-off for Madison where they were finding some seams and some gaps in the first half, and they had some kids contributing. They didn't have that same level of play from, say, Marissa Adderholt over the last 40 minutes that they got in the first half. Dynamite goal in the first half by Natalie Back. Drilled it at the 10:03 mark to tie things up after Barnett put Clear Fork in the lead 1-0 13 minutes into the match, but that was the only scoring that we had in the entire contest. But you don't want to hear from me. How about we talk to somebody that was actually involved in tonight's game? Brittany Bechtel standing by with our own Jesse Ryder. What's up, guys?
I'm here with Clear Fork Lady Colts Coach Bechtel. What did you think? Opening night, under the lights, Friday night. What did you think of your team tonight?
We knew we were in for a game. We knew we were in for a battle. Last year, obviously, Madison got us both times. They were our exit game last year out of the tournament, and they were our intro game this year. So a pretty good result. We graduated 12 and have a lot of young players on our field, and then out of the gate within the first couple minutes to lose our leading momentum striker up top. To adapt and be resilient and come back from that and keep your head on straight and have a good mental game the rest of the game, I'll give it to them. I'm proud of them for that.
Absolutely, and certainly you've got a young team. What's an area, as you look at tonight's game and kind of review the game a little bit in your head, where's an area of improvement you think immediately you're going to work on and kind of be the focal point for the next game?
Well, losing Kendall obviously adapted our entire formation the second half. So we came out with a different formation, which we did run some this summer. We just typically didn't run that one without her. When we do a lone striker, we typically put Kendall up top. So we put Lily up there. I thought she did a fabulous job out of the gate. I think obviously we don't have the numbers that we typically have had in the past in terms of that higher level. You know, we have a lot of youth that are still learning and growing. And I think today a little bit is just getting a little bit of that fear out, first game ever in high school. So moving forward, just still focusing and working on the things that we have worked on, connecting passes, movement off the ball, you know, numbers, communication. I think communication, we came out really good communicating. And again, when Kendall's injury happened, literally the field went silent. And then when Avery got hurt, everybody was like, you know, how's Kendall? So I know what was happening a good portion of that first half. Everybody was kind of worrying about what was going on with Kendall.
What are expectations for this team? Obviously young, but I think with that youthfulness comes a lot of talent, though. Talent you're very familiar with. What are the expectations for this year?
Well, we always have expectations here at practice to train hard, play the best games that we can, and win some big games down the line. I think having young players, having the inexperience, the amount of growth tends to happen a little bit quicker because you get the fear out, you get just learning the game because obviously these freshmen are very talented, they're very fast, they're very quick. But now they're playing against girls that are 3 years older than them, so they have to use their body, learn how to use their body a little bit better. And then just the touch and just the anxiety, like the pressure of when they have a ball, just that pure anxiety that they get.
I'm here with Coach Bechtel. We are wrapping up down here. We'll go back to you, Brian, for final thoughts. Thanks for tuning in.
All right, thank you, Jesse, and thank you, Brittany, for joining us. Love those thoughts from her. Always high expectations out here in the Valley. She's got one of the best programs, period, bar none, in North Central Ohio and beyond. Clear Fork looking to overcome the likes of Madison here in the area that have had the run of play, 5 straight district championships for them. So for both of these teams, I think a result that they can live with moving forward. I think that there were more question marks perhaps for Clear Fork coming into tonight, and they've answered some of those. They've got some young players and some pieces that they can be confident, comfortable with moving forward. And for Madison, there were times tonight where they looked great, but in that second half, as I talked about during the stats, it felt like they just they fell off, they faltered, and they didn't have the same type of explosiveness and weren't able to get the ball into key spots, some dangerous spots, like I'm sure that they were hoping to. So, again, a lot of takeaways for both of these teams. You can always find the positives, but as all good coaches do, and I'm sure these two will, they'll focus a little bit more on the negatives and the things that they can improve on and move forward. And I'm sure bright seasons ahead for both of these clubs who are trying to figure out how to overcome the loss of a lot of players. You heard Brittany say they graduated 12 last year. Madison had a small graduating class, I think just 3 seniors, but their leading scorer not available to them, even though she's just a junior, not going to be able to play throughout the duration of the year. So both of these teams trying to fill in some gaps, and we wish them the best moving forward. We'll have a ton of Clear Fork. We'll be over here at the Colt Corral for a lot of games. Hey, for those of you that are excited for high school football, just like I am, you can get up to speed on all the teams to keep an eye on throughout North Central Ohio, because in about 30 minutes, me and the gang, we're going to have the Friday Night Pigskin preview streaming free, of course, always here on the OH Report. That's going to be with Eric Will, Garrett Parlett, Storm Blunchley, Hayden Gray, Travis Berardi, and we went to like 10 different practices across North Central Ohio the last couple of weeks, so you get to hear from the players, the coaches, the athletes that are going to be involved in Friday Night Football, all the teams that we're going to be covering here on the OH Report. Get up to speed on who they are and what to expect in the coming season that kicks off next Thursday night. We'll have 2 live and free games for you on the Thursday night kickoff. But before that, our first live stream next week, we'll take you over to Ashland at the soccer complex, where we're going to catch up with the Arrows. They're going to be playing Midview at 4 p.m., an afternoon affair on August 17th. So that's going to be our first live and free game for you next week. Ton of soccer action, some volleyball as well, all on the way here on the OH Report. This is just night 1, games 1 and 2 of our doubleheader. That's going to wrap things up, though, here from the Colt Corral. I want to throw out some thank yous, though, to our incredible staff making it all happen. Adam Thompson, our director, builds all of our graphics and just really keeps us all together here. Garrett Parlett doing some up-top camera. He was down low during the boys' game, so I'm doing a little bit of both. Travis Berardi as well, and then Jesse Ryder, our phenomenal color commentator and interviewer extraordinaire. And a big thank you, of course, to all of our generous sponsors that help bring you tonight's broadcast live and free. Park National Bank, where you mean more. Mechanics Bank, that's better. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community, and Stutes Fresh Market, serving the Valley for generations. Stop in, check out their bakery, deli, and fresh meats right here in the heart of Belleville. For all those awesome people and sponsors, my name's Brian Skronsky saying so long from the Valley. We'll see y'all next week.